Welcome to CalmWaves, an MCTC podcast where we talk about the people, ideas, and changes that form the future of the maritime world. My name is RJ Ravindran, and I'm your host for this episode of CalmWaves. Now, with me today, I have two very special guests. First up, we have Sumit Daryani, our culinary training consultant here at MCTC.
Hello, Ajay.
Warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And joining us today is also Dominic Bieto Campitan
Hi.
from the MCTC Philippines office, and she's our culinary training manager.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Very nice to have both of you. But, just to kick things off, let's do a little bit of introduction. So, Sumit, tell us a little bit more about how you got into training for galley crew.
Sure. Why not? I go back a little bit to my childhood first, where I used to take my grandmom to temple, our local temple, where we used to cook food in bulk. From where I actually started to get that culinary zest. My family has been always into cooking, so we always see the chance who will get into the kitchen and cook. From where I think I get to know more about food. Then I joined a culinary school, became a chef, topped it, and then started to work with a lot of chains. That was the time I realized that as I have got these skills now, I should actually give this back to the society. And then came into the maritime culinary training. And hence, finally, what better than MCTC? And hence, I'm again back, not back, I'll say, I'm with MCTC from past 2.5 years.
Wow, very nice. And it's so nice that it started from home, right?
It actually started from home, yeah.
And that really sticks with you. Then now it's so nice that you get to share that knowledge with people who want to learn more. And them as well, spreading that love to whom they cook for, right?
Very true.
That's amazing.
Very true.
Now, Nikki, what about you? I mean, you have it's a slightly interesting story about your background with how you also were in the kitchen, and then after that you also had some influence within your circle. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, RJ, just like Sumit, the love for cooking started at a young age. So I knew for a long time I'm going to be a chef. That was it. I was going to be a female chef, executive chef, 5-star hotels. That was the dream. But then I had my partner who's also a chef. He went on board vessels. He became a seafarer. And then my now father-in-law also was a seafarer. And he used to tell me a lot of stories. He said that, they would eat sometimes only fried fish every day. And then, I was listening to it, not really absorbing it. Then the opportunity came up. And then now I give back to those people who had that same story of eating just fried fish every day, not having good meals on board. So I think it's a 360 of all the things. And now with my experience, I get to impact those meals that are being served on board. So for me, that's my dream now. That's the fulfillment that I have. I guess it changed, helping those that really need to eat well.
That's very good. I mean, I love that you mentioned that. I mean, from your husband to your father-in-law,
Yes.
they were all seafarers, and of course, India and Philippines. This is where most of our crew are coming from, right? So it is so nice to see that interaction. So my question is, having your father-in-law, also your spouse, being seafarers, how did that change your philosophy when it came to training, or what kind of how did it impact your mindset?
I think the most important thing is actually remembering that the days that they are on board, it exceeds the days that they're at home. So whenever they are at home, they're doing the training with us, right? So it takes like 5 days, 1 week. It takes a period away from their vacation time.
Of course.
So from our side, we have to make it worthwhile. That's my understanding. We don't want to go in, teach them, they're not going to really absorb anything. Our goal is to teach them and make those days that they are away from their family during their vacation worth it. So it's upgrading them, teaching them, not just by the book techniques, teaching them on the spot. I think you would agree when when they're on their vacation, they really want to rest, be with their family. They want to see that the training is worth their while. And we have to make those short moments count.
True.
And what about now, for example, we do the trainings for, for our galley crew, right? Now, Sumit, how do you think this impacts the crew well-being on board for the rest of the crew?
I'll give you a very simple example.
Mm-hmm.
When you are on board, you are 20, 25 people, max 30 people. There is no motivation. The only motivation which a crew can have is through food.
Absolutely.
So until the galley crew or the galley person is not motivated, he is not, well developed, he is not going to produce good food. And hence the things are going to come up. So I will always say this to all the galley crew or under whom we teach or who are under our guidance, that the first thing is get into discipline, understand basic skills, and understand the basic ingredients. You can't learn cuisine, but you can understand the basic ingredients and what they like.
Absolutely.
And then many things can be done with that.
And when it comes to training, right? I mean, when they start, how do you see the transformation? I mean, do you see the transformation first from the food, the attitude, the cost? What?
The attitude. The
Yes.
first thing has to be the attitude. That's why I said discipline.
Yeah.
It's very much equal to the attitude, what they are bringing in and what they go out after our training. So the attitude changes, the perspective changes, the way they look or the way they what they are doing and why they are doing changes, and finally the good product starts to come in the kitchen, in the galley.
So now, Nikki, I have a question. So you have done so many trainings, for so many students. I want to know, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see, like very major mistakes you see when they come in for the first day of training that makes you go like, ugh, you cannot be doing this on board. What are some of the...
That's a very interesting question. There's several. Right, you would know that. But for me, it's the sink. They keep throwing the things. They're not keeping their sink clean. What they do is they throw all the trash in the sink. I mean, there are bins there. They can put it in a temporary bin and put it in the big bin, but they just throw everything in the sink. So there's this mindset that, like when you're at home, right? I'm just gonna do the dishes. I'll keep them there. That's it. They take it to the galley. They forget that that's a professional setting. And one thing is the knives. They're very sharp. The number one rule in the trainings is never put your knives on the sink. Inside the sink.
Yeah, of course.
Because you can get injured. So for me, that's my cringe. And that's the all the mistake that I see all the time.
And there's this, now that you mentioned this, it's very nice that you said this about the fact that, they may cook the way they cook at home, right? And it's very different when you're in a professional setting.
Yes.
And this comes to my next question about this misconception that anyone can cook, right? So do you feel like this mindset is something where ship managers should be more aware of, that you cannot just take someone who has had no prior experience, no prior training, to be going on board and to be cooking for 25, 30 people at a time without proper training? Would you agree, Sumit?
It's impossible. I may say the guy may survive for like a week or so, but after that it is going to come back on him. A proper training, a proper way of how the things has to be done in galley, a proper galley management course is very important when a person is being hired on a galley. And the most important is the education. Basic education or basic ability of reading and understanding English. It's very important.
Of course.
So I always suggest to my training people also that who are coming in, because they are from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And we can't change the background, but what we can do is we can change them. So I always tell them, cooking is good, understanding about food is good, but reading is also important. And it actually helps them. It helps them a lot.
Yeah.
Because we are being in MCTC, we are providing them with so many recipes, and we always want them to use them. But until they don't read, they won't understand. Hence, the beginning of a basic course, we start with very, on a very minimal level. But then by the end of that 5th day, they all are in that loop. Okay, how the things are going to happen, how the recipe is going to be read, then how the mise en place is going to be done. Then the cooking starts. So it's a very beautiful process.
Now, speaking of education, right? I mean, one of the things that, of course, Nikki, you have a lot of experience with is the Maritime Culinary Development Program. It's being run in Manila, right? This 3 months intensive course for fresh graduates before they go on board, right? So talk me through day one when they come into your Manila Galley training center. What are their emotions like, and how do they fare on day 90 when they finish the program?
So with the Maritime Culinary Development Program, we've done it 20 times, 20 batches, and that's over 100 cooks.
Wow.
They're now cooks, cadets and cooks. On day one, my tradition is I always take the picture on the first day. They're all seated. They have their white polo on. They're sitting well, their back stands straight, but then they're nervous. They're like, why am I here? Before they were admitted to the program, they had that mindset, okay, I want to be a seafarer. Finished. But when they're actually there, that's when the nerves start kicking in. It's like they know how to cook, they all love to cook, but to connect what Sumit said, the education is not yet there. Okay, they graduated with a good course, but cooking with intention, that's the part that's not there yet. Cooking while using your brain at the same time, planning. So on day one, they're like, okay, why am I here? And then towards the middle, it feels like they feel like students. So they have assignments, they have homeworks, they're still not feeling it. Then we go to the practical sessions. And then they start to work. And then they start to understand slowly that, okay, I'm not just cooking at home. I'm not just cooking for myself. I'm cooking for people, not only to sustain them on board, but also to make them happy. Biologically, food, we need it to survive. But food on board is a different impact on people. It makes people happy. It brings people together. So the weight of that, they feel that. So towards the end of the program, day 90, the graduation ceremony, there's always like thank you speeches. There's a little bit of crying. I showed them the picture on day one, and they're like shocked because what changed from day one to that last day is that mindset. Cooking with intention, cooking with that planning, cooking with that passion, and helping also those that are their colleagues on board, but also having that courage to help their families.
They get the eye of the tiger.
Yes. Yes. And you know what I always say, this is not your last day. This is the first day of the rest of your life. The day one, the real day one, starts when they go on the gangway. They go in the ship. That's day one. This one is day 0.
Absolutely. I could not agree more.
And it's different. It's different. That perspective change. You see them on day one, they're like, okay, they feel like, students. But on that last day, right before they go on board the ship, they'll be like, okay, you guys gave me the confidence. It's more than the skill. Of course, it's there. Skill to set is there. But the mindset, that confidence, that's something that we teach. The perspective, as you mentioned. So, because it's not just, okay, I'll throw everything in the pot, I'll cook, I'm a great chef. No, it's cooking with intention and with purpose. And having that, to sustain you for the entire contract. That's important.
I really love that you said that, because now I want to know a little bit more about when if we were to walk in to the training center, right? What would I see or smell or hear? I want to know the emotions in the training center itself. So walk me through that.
Yeah, so our training center, okay, you would enter, you will see everybody smiling. In the Philippines, you've been there, everybody's smiling. They will offer you a coffee for sure.
Nice hospitality.
Yes, of course. And then what you will see that you won't see in some training centers, they're smiling. I would say the training center, the word training center, it's very rough. It's very like rigid, right? With our training center, I don't think we have that. They're actually smiling because we have that intention to cook with a purpose, to go straight to the point, not all this. Of course, there's a methodology and all this, but still cooking with that purpose of what what's their job on board. So you will smell something is most likely being cooked in the oven. So the hot dishes, they'll be there. There'll also be somebody plating, taking pictures also. But then what you will see is the focus, the rigor of the cooks. They're not just, okay, I'm just going to follow a recipe. No, it's not like that. They have a recipe. They will do it together. Okay. And there might be a colleague. They're going to talk to it about it. It's not this strict culinary school style training. It's cooking with that purpose and that intention to have those meals and being creative. Because like I said in the beginning, those 5 days, those week that they are with us in the training center, that's time away from their family. So what we've done in the training is to focus on what's really important. Upgrading them, teaching them all this skill set, but it's not having this rigorous training and all this. It's going straight to the point. You would see the nice kitchen, and then on the side you might see a trade test going on, or the practical side of the messman upgrading course. So we also teach the messman. So of course you train the cooks, you train the messman as well. So that's the busy kitchen that's going on.
Very nice. I mean, it's so nice. It sounds very colorful and vibrant, just walking through that space, right? So one of the things that I also want to talk about, because of course we do the onshore trainings, and Sumit, you have had a lot of experience with onboard visits,
Yeah.
right? So I want to know a little bit more about when you would go on board the vessel till you leave. What are the emotions like when they see you? Because I'm sure sometimes I think the misconceptions go on board. They'll be like, another inspection, but I don't think it's an inspection, right? So tell me more about what is different.
Out of 199 times, it has the same impact. Like as soon as I enter, the basic, we go and meet the captain, and then we introduce why we are there and everything. But the first impact of the galley crew is, another inspector. But as soon as we change, we start to work with them. We make sure and we make them understand that why we are there, how the process is going to take place. That is the time they calm down. They understand that, okay, this guy is for me. He's here to understand me. He's here to help me out with different things. And then we start with the process. We start with the galley inspection. We go to the walk-ins. We make sure that they are following the protocols of how the storage has to be done. If there there's some problems happening, we are there to guide them. We make sure that we check little bit of stores. Are they keeping it well? If there are certain problems, equipments, most important. Nowadays the equipments are such that if one equipment is not working, it's going to hamper a lot of cooking. So we make sure that if something is there, we can also pass this message to the principals through our reports. And last but not the least, the cooking part. Because this guy has been cooking from so long for so many people with just one assistant. That is the messman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the messman it's not his job to cook every time. He can just help with a little bit of salads or some. So when we help them, we produce some good products. It's a little relief for them. And we can see that smile when we leave. And trust me, Arjay, it has happened so many times that after we leave, we get a message in our feedback like, thank you, Chef Sumit. Thank you for the meal. I can give you one very beautiful example. I was on one of the vessel where the kitchen stores were not yet completely filled, and they were on a very very shortage of groceries were there, and most of them were Indians. And then the Indians were like, we are very fed up of having pastas now because it's only that remaining. And I was like, why you need vegetables or tomatoes just to make some gravy? We have tomato puree. Let's change the game. And we made some good butter chicken and all that with just a puree. The chef or the cook, he learned something. The crew was happy. I was happy because they both were happy.
Of course. And I think this is, especially with shipping, sometimes with the itinerary, it can be very challenging when the vessel will be, 45 days on a voyage without any fresh supply, with, where it's running quite low. And of course, these alternatives with either using the frozen items or if really something would happen, finding solutions on the spot, right? I think this is the a very key area. And have you had experiences where you were giving support
Of course.
during these times?
Yes, it has happened. It has
Yeah.
happened. First of all, there's a very big or wrong misconception that the frozen products are bad. It's not like that. They have been kept in such a way that they can be used instead of the fresh is not there. So the companies are making it in that way.
Yeah.
So I always ask my cooks whom I train that understand how a product can be used. Right? If you even the fresh ones, if they're getting, they can also be blanched, froze. Like we can freeze them and keep them. We can use them later. The most common example which I can give you is of spinach. Spinach has a very low shelf life, 3 days, 2 days max.
Yeah.
But if you blanch and you cool them and make a bundle of them and put it, you can use it for next 3 months. You will get the same gravy, same color out of it. So these are small points, tips which we make them understand that this can be used in this way. And also, it is a myth that you need everything to prepare one dish. No, the dish can be prepared with few of the ingredients, and it can be much tasty.
Wow, you see, I think
the simpler the ingredients, the more flavorful the dish. I guarantee you that.
I love that you say that, because with Indian cuisine, which we're going to talk a little bit more about Indian cuisine in a bit, but I think the misconception is that you need so many ingredients to make one dish.
Yes.
So it's very nice that you said that. I think it's very important what you do, because especially with the kind of consultation that you give to our galley crew on board, when they need assistance like that, I think it's brilliant. So one of the things I also want to ask Chef Nikki is, we've been doing cooking competitions every year.
Yes.
So this is something I want to know, because every year the participation is increasing.
Yeah.
We are seeing the participation also get more creative. Like the entries that we see are something that we would not have seen maybe 10 years ago.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about how and why this is important to have on board, especially during the festive period.
It all goes back to motivation and giving that morale.
Yes.
When you're on board the ship, it becomes, like a routine. Okay, I'll cook and that's it, finished. And this one, the competitions that we give them, it's something to look forward to. It's an annual thing. It's something where they can step out of their comfort zone, not just doing that routine, and also showing their skill set. We have submissions where they do like the fondant. They would make like Christmas trees. It's gonna be like we've seen some like cake,
the whole vessel,
gigantic cakes. So having that morale, it's two ways. It's through the cook. He's showing his skill set, his passion in cooking. It ignites his fire. It makes him happy. But at the same time, the crew do not feel left out. Okay, I'm on board. I'm far away from my family. They feel sad during these occasions. These competitions, they offer that. They offer that good morale for both sides, the cook and also the crew, right?
I may add to this. December is the month where we usually put up the cooking competition. December is the month where the cook is going to be the most busy, because he's going to have a lot of parties. There's Christmas, there's New Year, there's so many things. But still we get cooks coming in and taking part in the competition because they feel special.
Yeah.
Also, I may appreciate the captains, because I have seen so many times that captain putting up the chef's good work, that he is doing so good job. We are getting good food. I want him to be the part of this competition. He has made this cake, so it builds up that team spirit. And with just one of our small cooking competition gesture, we have building a great crew on board for that vessel.
Food is very important.
Very important.
With gatherings as well. So, parties, all nationality. The festive season brings people together. And having that small thing be a big thing, they go all out. So the guys, then they are on vacation, they see us at the training center, they would show us pictures. They'll be like, my God, I mean, they have better food than what we have in our homes, right? So they go all out. Having that motivation to, have people gather together, because on board you're a family, right? So that's the family you have for months. And, having, share the table with the people that you work with every day, but still having that good food, and it all gives everyone a happy vibe.
So now we mentioned, we talk about, especially for cooking for all of the crew on board, right? And we talked about Indian cuisine. So my question is to Sumit, when you're training Indian cooks for multinational crew, right?
Yes.
What are some of the biggest adjustments that they have to make? Because it's very different when you're cooking
I agree.
for just for Indian cuisine
Yes.
versus a multinational crew. So what are the challenges, the biggest challenges they face?
The biggest challenge which I feel is vegetarianism. Because yes, most of the Indian crews, they are completely vegetarian. Now, if the cook is from India, he may understand that. But if the cook is from some other country, if you see a basic meal of some other country, it's most of protein.
Yeah.
And then the side dish is vegetable. So the concept is little different.
Mm-hmm.
So hence, when we train, especially students or cooks from other countries, we make sure that we tell them that how important is vegetarian cooking for them. And then we teach them accordingly. Second, and the most important, I'm going to tell this to our viewers also, to everybody, Indian cooking is not about masalas. It is about the basic 3 ingredients: a good chili powder, a good turmeric powder, and a good coriander powder. That's it. You have these 3 with salt, you can prepare 70% of Indian dishes.
I love that you just simplify it for us, because
it's a simple thing. Because sometimes we get these mails coming in, Chef, we don't have biryani masala, how can I make biryani? We don't have this, we don't have that. You don't need it.
Now you just simplified my shopping list by half.
You can prepare good food just by a few things. I always tell this so don't take burden.
So, out of curiosity, what is the one Indian dish you always see on board that, even with non-Indians, they always love it so much? What is that one dish?
Biryani.
Right?
People have made biryani as the Sunday meal. You can ask any vessel, what are you preparing on Sunday? Sunday biryani. That's it. It has become so popular. So popular. I have seen Russian crew, we have Indonesian crew, I've seen so many crew, but they are all united with that biryani part.
And they don't want to tone down on flavor. It's not like they want it less punchy.
No.
Right? They want it the same.
Same, but they enjoy it. In fact, I always tell this to my crew that make sure that you follow the weekly menu. First of all, the weekly menu is so important. We always emphasize, being in MCTC, that I have seen many cooks making, what is available in the galley? Okay, I am going to prepare this. No. Make a weekly menu where you know what you're going to cook for the whole week. The crew is going to know what they're going to eat for the whole week. Defrosting of meat is much simpler. Because let's say I want to cook biryani on Sunday, I can take out my meat on Friday and put it in the chiller so that it becomes on the room temperature and I can cook it nicely. So, whenever you're making this weekly menu, get certain recipes. Let's say biryani Sunday, pizzas Thursday. Everybody's going to enjoy it.
And have something to look forward to. Let's say on Thursday.
We're going to have pizza, and everybody, each nationality is going to enjoy it, right? Next, I may say grilled chicken or burgers. Okay, burgers Monday. So it is going to simplify the chief cook's headache, so that he doesn't have to cook so many dishes for everyone. He can make a basic menu and everybody can enjoy it. And then, the basic tip next I can give them is, when you are making a multinational menu, make sure that the soup and the vegetarian and carbs are almost same. You can just play on the protein part. So if I'm preparing chicken curry for an Indian person, just make a chicken stew for a British person. That's it.
That's the common misconception, right? But when you're on board, the cook will say, "Oh no, I have to cook 20 different main dishes." You don't have to do that. Then some of the crew, "Oh no, but they will feel left out." I mean, just stick to one protein and just divide it accordingly. That's it. That's the secret.
And now I wanna know a little bit more about Filipino cuisine, because generally we want to make sure that when they're on board, we eat healthy, eat with more nutrition on board. So how do you adapt some of the Filipino favorites like adobo and these type of dishes? How would they adapt it to make it a bit more nutritious, a bit more healthy for our crew on board?
There's this common misconception, right? That when you say healthy, it's not no flavor, right? Healthy, nothing.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, you're laughing. It's true. Filipino cuisine, our number one protein is pork, right? You cannot be like you go in a Filipino cabin, all those crew, no pork. It's impossible. There's this misconception that, okay, to make it healthy, I'm not going to make it flavorful. That's not it. It's finding those core ingredients and transforming them, maybe changing up the cooking method. For example, there's ovens on board. Instead of frying something, stick it in the oven. That's as simple as that. Another thing is also stewing. Filipino cuisine is all about stewing, slow cooking. Okay, the vegetables all in one pot. You can take out the vegetables so they're not overcooked. Cook them in a separate pot. Just put them on top of the stew. So it's more of the cooking methods. The flavors stay the same. You don't want to remove the essential flavors of the meals. It's for all cuisines. It's a matter of thinking about the methods that you're cooking it in. Again, it's mindful cooking. Cooking with intention, cooking with a purpose. So this is something that we teach everybody that we're training on board, on shore.
I would also like to add to this that skipping few of the ingredients and making them your own. The biggest example, a broth powder, or a Maggi cube, which they feel that this is going to increase the flavor. You have bones with you of that animal which you have cut. Make a beautiful stock, and it is healthy. It is cost efficient. And it is going to give you more flavor.
And this is something that ties into what Nikki said earlier about they throw everything in the sink.
Yes, yes. And to add to that also, Filipino food, I mean, for all cuisines, there were no instant powders in the time of our ancestors.
Yeah.
Everyone was making it from scratch.
Very true.
Example, kare-kare, that stew. It's a peanut stew. Now you get kare-kare in a pouch. There's just powder. But if you think about it, it's just peanuts. You just ground the peanuts, right? So, sinigang mix, okay? The main thing of a sinigang is you need a souring agent. So, tamarind. It's actually tamarind, guava, whatever souring agent you have. Now, they just get it in a pack. So, honestly, okay, for convenience, but if you take that packet, read the ingredients, some of them you cannot even pronounce.
Absolutely.
And you're putting it in your body. So that health standpoint, right? In a health standpoint, okay, it's easier, but in the long run, why are we putting in our body the things we cannot even pronounce?
And this is something which ties into my next question regarding health on board and the quality of the food on board. You know, how does this affect the well-being and the the health on board for the crew?
Yeah, because as I said earlier, food, right? Biologically, we need to eat.
Yeah.
Biologically. But aside from that, having healthy meals enough to sustain you for that, long working hours is important because it affects how you think, how you wake up in the morning. Not just biologically, but also, are you eating the same thing over and over again? Are you eating these fatty things? I told you earlier, my husband is a seafarer. He would tell me stories where his breakfast is just bacon the whole time. Bacon. Okay, bacon's good. Everybody loves bacon, but then nothing else, and it will affect it will affect your insides internally. So that food in itself, biologically, it needs to be something with balance to sustain it, but at the same time to make us happy and keep the day going. As you said earlier, motivation. Food is motivation for everybody.
To add to Nikki, I may also say that when we are training our chefs, we make sure to make them understand that why and how the health is going to be important from your perspective, or how you can make a big difference. So I also tell them that, sometimes you have to become the mama of the crew.
That's true.
So sometimes you can actually tell them that I have made congee. You all have to have it because today we are going to have a heavy meal in the afternoon.
Okay.
Why can't you do it?
Yeah,
people love it. People will love it. Crew will love it. That there is someone there to take care of us. It's like that. So that makes a difference.
Meals on board are not just, okay, just cafeteria food. That's that mindset. Okay, it's cafeteria food. I'm just going to cook something. No. You guys are, like you said, the moms of these guys.
Nice.
Their wives. You're everybody's comfort person.
Just for cooking, but.
Just for cooking. Yes. Just to clarify, just for cooking. Right? You're that person that will give them comfort at the end of the day. They're working hard, on the deck,
I agree.
in all the departments, and then they go sit in the galley. That's their time. They would in the mess room. They would eat, and then that's it. That's gonna bring them happiness for the next hour.
And I love that you mentioned this because, I think when it comes to food, it has that ability to take us back to a
memory.
certain place, a memory in our lives, right? So this is something that is very impactful when they're on board, in the middle of the sea, and when they sit down to eat, automatically they get transported, right?
Very true.
So is this something that you also have heard from our crew? Where they have sat down to eat, and all of a sudden they have that biryani that just reminds them of home.
I can give you a very beautiful example. When I was in Singapore on one of the vessels, and it was very hot outside, very hot.
Yeah,
temperature and humidity and everything. And I reached at the vessel at the morning coffee break and lunchtime. That was in between. So I asked the chief cook, what is he preparing for the coffee break? And he was like, I have made some biscuits and then coffee. I said, it's 45 degrees outside. Why they need coffee? So let's change the drink too. And we made a very nice cool drink with mint and cucumber and everything. No, nothing to eat, just a drink. Okay, and we just made beautiful cups and all, and we kept it inside the mess room. After every 10 minutes, a guy coming, having the drink, while going, Chief, I love you, thank you, and out.
Yes. Wow.
One simple change, and it changed the perspective of all the crew. They were so happy, they were so motivated, and they were like, Chief, we don't need food every coffee break. These kinds of drinks are going to be the best for us.
Yes. And I think, just to understand where you are and to understand, okay, like you said, you're feeling hot. Sometimes all you want is a nice, chill beverage.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So understanding that and just going out of your way to not be so fixated on what you have planned already,
Yes.
Thinking on the field, I think that's very important. And I think it brings back to what you have mentioned. It's cooking with intent. So I think that's very beautiful. So right now we want to go into some speed round questions.
Oh,
okay.
that's so nervous.
So I'll ask you both.
God.
I want you to just shoot the answer that comes in mind. So first one. What is the biggest galley superstition you've heard? Nikki, go.
Okay, this is not just a galley superstition, a kitchen superstition.
Yeah.
Throwing salt on your back for good luck.
And Sumit, you?
Don't pass on salt hand to hand.
Why?
I don't know. There's superstition.
Why is this?
Okay, we follow then. We follow.
Okay.
All right. One ingredient you cannot live without in the galley. Sumit.
Salt.
Garlic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You can't eat garlic without salt.
There's garlic powder and all that. No, you need garlic.
Okay, garlic. Okay. Next. If you could ban one ingredient from every ship forever,
this is going to be controversial.
This is going to be controversial.
Okay, Sumit.
See, we can make that umami flavor from a broth or from a stock. That's why I'm saying Ajinomoto.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going to say the ready-made cake mix, box cake mix. Because it's only like flour, baking powder. I mean,
Truly, what a scam.
Like,
what a scam.
No, literally, there's nothing. You can make it out of normal ingredients.
I agree.
Cake.
All right. So next question, because you both have so much experience with onshore trainings, what is the funniest thing you've seen a trainee do on day one? Sumit.
I can't. So many. so many.
Come on. One, the funniest thing you've seen.
You have something in mind?
Okay.
First you go. Let me think.
I'll go first. We had this trade test, this assessment. I would say this is not training, but this was an assessment. He put like raw carrots, like she chopped them on top of a cooked fish.
Oh.
And like sprinkled it like confetti.
Maybe he thought it was giving crunchy,
Like the fish, cooked fish, sprinkle the carrots.
Okay.
There you go.
And Sumit? Sumit, this is a speed round, so you're
there are so many I can't even.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
Yes.
You're stuck on a vessel for 6 months with only 3 spices. Which ones are you having? I feel like Sumit, I know your answer.
Ready.
If the Indian crew is there, I will just say the 3 spices are chili powder, turmeric, and coriander. That's it.
Okay, and
Pepper. You need pepper. And then you need, yes, I would agree with chili powder and then cinnamon.
okay, cinnamon. I like that. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. So next, coffee. Is it a galley crew's best friend or worst enemy?
Best friend.
Both. It can be an enemy sometimes because they depend so much on it
Yeah.
that it affects the cost.
All your hands get very
And then,
jittery.
many other things also.
Okay, next is deep fryer. Is it an essential tool or a dangerous temptation?
Dangerous temptation. Like I said earlier, stick it in the oven.
Yeah. But yes, but if there are certain things which has to be deep fried,
Yeah.
if we have to, it is much better than putting up a vessel on a range. It's much safer.
Much
Yeah,
safer.
it's safer.
It's much safer.
Instead of putting an
With
extra
regards to
pan.
safety,
Yes.
Yes.
deep fryer is much better if you have to fry. But yes, fried products, what Dicky said, baking is much better. But fryer should be there. We don't want that kadai on
Yes.
We don't want that big
vessel.
pot
and then
with
it's
oil over
rolling
there
in
when
it.
the vessel is rolling.
Very risky.
Okay. If you could magically fix one challenge for galley crews worldwide, what would it be?
Understanding all languages. Yeah. Honestly, all languages.
And I think with the current technology, with some of the earpiece where you have translation,
Yes.
I think this is going to be fixed very
Yes.
soon.
Yeah.
And Sumit, what would it be for you?
I will say, I actually tell this to the galley crews that you can't make everybody happy.
Mhm.
So don't be in that guilt that, okay, today I didn't make something for him or for her.
Yeah.
You are doing your best. Just make sure that everybody is happy at some point.
Okay. So now I want you to complete this line. So the line is, the secret ingredient is always,
Empathy.
Sumit, the secret ingredient is always,
Love, cooking with love.
I love that. Thank you so much. I have really enjoyed this conversation that we've had, discussing, galley crew training, discussing food on board, the impact it has on crew well-being and their health on board. I think we really covered a lot of misconceptions, to understand a little bit more about why it's important to cook with intent. And from Sumit, we've also heard about how to troubleshoot in very extreme cases. And all this you can do sometimes either with consultation or with proper training.
Yes.
So I really, really want to thank both of you for joining us in the
Thank you
CalmWaves
so much for
podcast.
giving us the
Thank
opportunity.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
so much.
Thank
Of
you.
course. Thank you for joining us in today's episode of CalmWaves, an MCTC podcast. Do share, subscribe, and like our post, and we look forward to welcoming you in our next episode.